Hello, guys. How are you? Doing well?
Doing great.
Really? How do you feel in this cold morning?
Amazing.
Amazing. Hello, Mr. Jahangir. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Feeling great, feeling excited, feeling very grateful to be invited to Internation one more time. And I hope that everybody who's here today, that you're going to enjoy as well as learn something today. So wish you all a great time and wish all of us a great time. And plus, it's a great opportunity to get to know Nur Muhammad Aka a little closer. Nur Muhammad Aka. Yeah. So, yeah.
Assalomu alaykum Nurmuhammad aka. Yaxshimisiz?
Assalomu alaykum.
Charchayapsizmi? Ishlaringiz yaxshimi?
Rahmat.
Doing well?
Yeah, great.
That's all
Feeling
right,
great.
yeah.
Assalomu alaykum hammaga. Xush kelibsizlar yana bir marta. Xudo xolisa yaxshi event bo'ladi. Ko'p manfaat olamiz. Yaxshi narsalar o'rganamiz. Qiziq savollar kutib qolamiz.
Okay, guys. Now we shall start with the questions of that we have prepared with our team of Intonation. And the first question is, how many times did you take IELTS so far? And why was it so hard to achieve, even if you are a native speaker?
When I heard you say how many times, can you guys hear me, by the way? Is everything working fine? Can you hear me? Can you clap one time if you can hear me? Nice, thank you, perfect. So, when I heard you say how many times, I really thought you were going to say how many times were you married? I was really expecting you to just repeat my question. I have taken IELTS 5 times so far, and on the 5th time I got overall 9, and so that's when I stopped because I don't really have that much money to pay for IELTS more than 5 times. The most difficult thing about IELTS is that when you're trying to get 9, in a lot of situations, in a lot of cases, it's about getting lucky. It's about getting a test where the reading and the listening are perfectly easy, or at least perfectly at your level, so that you can get 39 or 40, so that you can get all the answers. They have to be the right level for you, not too difficult and not out of your reach. Then, your speaking test, you have to have an examiner who is not bald. They have to be a normal person, okay? One time, this is a true story, I'm a native speaker. I've been speaking English my whole life since I was, since I was a small child, since I was a kid, since I was born. My examiner was bald. Bald means no hair. He looked at me and he saw all of my hair and he thought, wow, this guy, I hate this guy. And so from all of my speaking exams, I've always had 9, except one time when my examiner was bald and I got 8. And I could not believe it. So your examiner has to not be bald. Your reading and listening has to be relatively easy. And the most difficult part, writing. You have to have easy writing questions. Or at least they don't have to be easy. You have to be prepared for them. So that's the most difficult part of the 9, the number, getting the achievement. All the stars have to align. Everything has to be in the right place. You have to be in the right position. And you have to take what's yours.
At this point, let me give you a question. So we all know that achieving 8.5 nowadays is not as difficult, and many peoples, they do get 8.5. And like, what's the difference between 9 and 8 in terms of knowledge? So the question is for all of you guys. Yeah.
Yaxshi savol. Chunki yaqinda bitta tanishimiz YouTube videoda aytganda, что 8.5 bilan 9 orasida lak hal qiladi deganlar. No 8.5 bilan 9 ni ham agar subskorlarni ko'rib chiqsak, misol uchun 8.5 ga ilinib qolgan bor, aytaylik 9 ga ilinib qolgani bor. Menimcha farqi bor. Agar aytaylik sizni speakingiz 8 yoki writingiz 7.5 atrofida bo'lsa agar, men bilgan ninerlar aniq speakingni 8 levelda bilmaydi, aniq 7.5lik emas esselari. Undan ham yaxshiroq yozishadi. 100%, 100%. Da albatta Alex aytganday sizlar examga kirayotgan paytingiz, like o'sha kuni o'zida ham reading, ham listening, ham speaking, ham writing bilan lucky bo'lib qolishingiz kerak. Chunki Alexga ham, menga ham speakingdan menimcha bitta odam tushganda, menga ham bitta Carl John aka tushganlar, Bridge Councildan. Bir kun oldin, bir oy oldin, taxminan bir oy oldin ikkita tanish Dilshodbek Ravshanbekov va Alisher o'rtoqlarim nimaga kirib chiqqanda ekzamenga o'sha John tushgan hammaga. Ana Dilshod akaning speakinglarini 7.5 qo'ygan, apellyatsiyadan 8.5, Alisherni speakingiga 8 qo'yib 8.5, ya'ni apellyatsiyadan keyin. So it makes perfect sense what you said about that bald guy. I think it was John.
His name was exactly John.
Yeah, yeah.
Know him. If you know his location, send it to my Telegram.
Вот. Atak mani fikrimcha da farqi bor, subscorelarga bog'liq. Endi reading listening aniq bir 8 olganingizdan keyin taxminan o'zi nermasiz 8.5 mi 8 farqi yo'q. Reading listening menimcha hammada bir xil bo'lib qoladi. Faqat speaking va writing ko'p narsa hal qilib qo'yishi mumkin. Я думаю, да, 8.5 va 9 ni farqi bor agar именно shu speaking va writing haqida gapirsak. Я так думаю, mani fikrim shaxsiy. Опять же, sizlar speaking is va writing is 7.5 9 chiqishi mumkin 8.5, da? И sizni 9 va 7.5 chiqishi mumkin. Aytaylik 8.5 emas. So there is a big difference in my opinion. No, but subscores, not overall score. Yeah. Chunki overall score'da misol uchun Nurmuhammad xavandagi topshirishlardan o'rdan chiqqan ballari tam 9 7.5, maniki aytaylik tam 9 7.5 da. I think it's very close to 9, da. Buni уже farqi yo'q desak ham bo'ladi почти, я так думаю. Yeah. Shu уже bu holatda the question of luck. Yaxshi savol tushib qolsa speakingda, yaxshi savol writingda tushib qolsam you good to go. Вот. Da. Nurmuhammad aka.
Men ham Jahongir fikrlariga to'liq qo'shilaman. Agar kandidat writing o'zi 8 dan baland bo'lsa, 8.5 bo'ladigan bo'lsa, speakingda 8.5 9 olib yurgan bo'lsa, lekin overall 9 bo'lmayotgan bo'lsa, o'zi bu 9 degani. Bunga faqat luck yetishmayapti-da. Lekin hozirda 9 bor odam bilan 8.5 bor odamni umuman farqi yo'q deya olmayman, farqi bor. Kecha kanalda kommentda shu narsa bo'ldi. Ikkalasi bir xil-ku deyishdi-da. Bir xil emas. Juda kichkina farqi bor orada. Deylik bir qadamlik farqi bor. Lekin o'sha bir qadam bosish ham ba'zida qiyin bo'lib ketadi. To'g'risi. Endi bu yog'i faqat ingliz tili emas, ya'ni qayta topshirishi, boya Alex aytgandek omad kelib qolishi. Masalan, o'zim кейsimda bo'ldi. IDPda 2 marta back to back 9 qo'ydi, bitta examiner. Kirdim 9 qo'ydi, ikkinchi marta yana kiryapman, shu examiner o'zi bu safar 9 qo'ymasa kerak. 8.5 qo'ysa kerak, arimaga dedim-da. Yo'q, yana 9 qo'ydi. Keyin British Councilga kiryapman, 8 qo'yapti. Apellyatsiya beryapman, bak ko'tarmayapti. Speaking, writing ko'tardi, speaking ko'tarmadi. Yuqori ballada shu tarafi ham bor. Examinerda ham roli katta. Masalan, examiner sizni ko'ra olishi o'sha. Sizda 8.5 yo 9 ni ko'ra olishi ham muhim. Oxirgisi 9 ga olib chiqqan narsa menda bo'ldi. Retake qildim speakingda keyin noiloj, chunki imkoniyat bor edi 9 olishga. Retake qildim. Video call qildim. Bu yoqdagi examiner tushib qolmasin, jon tushib qolmasin deb. Video call qildim. Britaniya o'zidan tushdi, lekin u ham bolt ekan. Lekin exam yaxshi bo'ldi, yaxshi ball qo'ysa kerak deb o'yladim. Yana 8 qo'yib qo'ydi-da. Keyin o'ylandim rosa. Yor beraymi, bermaymi, yo British Council bilan xayrlashaymi dedim. Qandaydir xayolim kelib qoldi, yor berdim. Yor berganingizda senior examiner tekshiradi, menimcha o'lansochi bo'lsa kerak. Keyin yordan keyin ko'tarib berishdi. Shunaqa ba'zi holatlarda juda kichkina farq bo'lishi mumkin, u sezilmasligi mumkin, lekin boya aytganlaridek, agar 8.5 olgan odamlar writing va speaking past bo'ladigan bo'lsa, u endi sezilarli farq.
Hozir umuman bitta conclusion xulosa qilishga harakat qilaman, lekin birinchi bo'lib auditoriyadan so'rasam menimcha yaxshiroq. Hozir ko'rdingizlar, bitta ekzamenda bitta ball chiqdi, bitta ekzamenda bitta ball, bitta ekzamenda вообще boshqacha ball, keyingisiga umuman boshqacha ball chiqqan. Qanaqa xulosa qilishlaringiz mumkin? Volontyorlar ham qo'lni ko'tarib javob berishlaringiz mumkin. Keyingi shu tayyorgarligingizda keyingi hafta tayyorgarlik qilasiz IELTSga, qanaqa o'zgarish kirgizish mumkin sizlarning fikrlaringiz bo'yicha? По вашему мнению, что можно поменять в подготовке, если и нужно поменять? Anybody?
I think humans are not perfect and they are not the same. For example, you have a different results for this season, but overall 9. Yeah, that's perfect.
I had like a little slightly different conclusion. Not slightly, but probably completely different. Qaranglar, bolalar, mockni bir marta topshirish yoki 2 marta topshirish bilan sizlar aniq qaysi daraja turganingizni aniqlashingiz juda qiyin. Okay? O'sha uchun meni maslahatim, kim bu internationalda o'qiyotgan bo'lsa, boshqa sentrlarda o'qiyotgan bo'lsa, agar men maslahatim iloji boricha IELTS mock bor, har hafta olinadigan IELTS mock, uni kam bilan 3-2-4 marta topshirib olganingizdan keyin shu average scoringizni aniqlab olasiz. Chunki har safar boshqacha reading, har safar boshqacha speaking savollar, har safar boshqacha writing savollar. And you never know when you get lucky and when you do not. И примерно ballingizni aniqlab olishingiz mumkin. Okay? Ana shunaqa conclusionda hozir Alexning experience, men experience Nurmuhammad akaning experience kelib chiqqan holda bitta conclusion iloji boricha ko'proq, ya'ni kami bilan 3 marta mani maslahatim mock topshirib olish. Mock topshirib olganingizdan keyin примерно average score'ni o'zga aniqlab olasiz. Okay? So that would be my advice.
Jahongir aka, endi shu yerda bitta savol. Mock testni qayerda topshirish kerak?
Опасный вопрос. Так, baribir bolalarning o'zlariga bog'liq, qayerda qulay bo'lsa o'sha yerga kelib topshirish kerak. No, mani maslahatim agar notanish joy bo'lsa, ya'ni такой strashniroq atmosfera bo'lib qoladi, pressure, invigilatorlarni tanimaysiz, odamlar qo'polroq gapirishadi. Yoqmasligi mumkin, lekin maslahatim shunaqa joyda topshirish. Agar shunaqa sizlar bilan nimalar munosabat qilsa, agar o'tir, такой. Для меня это более pressureni ko'proq oshirib, keyin o'sha ekzamenda kamroq nima bo'lib qolasiz.
If you are taking exam any other day and you see that your speaking examiner is bold, it means it's not your day. Go and retake your IELTS any other day.
Eng qizig'i Nur Muhammad aka siz video call qilib o'sha jonga tushmay deb qilgandingiz-ku, menga video callda jon tushgandi-da.
All of you are teachers. You are teaching, you are teaching, you are teaching. And you have achieved this ceiling of being English teacher in terms of IELTS. You've got 9. Why your methodology of teaching is the best one? And what makes your students eligible to get 9? Все они учителя, ребят. Все они с девяткой, они достигли пика IELTS в преподавании, они получили 9. Но тут такой вопрос, почему их методология самая лучшая, и почему именно их студенты должны получать такие же высокие баллы?
So I'm gonna be honest. I have an answer that is very similar. Last time we had an event here, kind of like this, where there were a lot of important IELTS people, and you were asking us questions. And the guy working for British Council said, "I don't see the value in getting a 9." And to be honest, I don't teach my students to get a 9. I don't think that for the majority of students, they are trying to get a 9. I think that for most people, they are learning IELTS in order to get, maybe 6, 6.5, 7, 7+. And then they stop because they need it for university. They need it for their life. Their life does not revolve around IELTS. Mine does because I'm an IELTS teacher. But I don't think for the majority of students, you want to spend every single day reading Cambridge books. You don't want to spend every single day, looking at speaking tests. So I would say that the reason why my teaching methodology is successful and why students are learning from it and why they're being successful is because of the fact that I try my best to teach in a natural way that is the way that, let's say, babies learn. Like when you're a baby, when you're a child, you see a ball and you hear the word ball and you think, oh, wow, ball, oh! And you learn by hearing those words. That's called language acquisition. And I feel like throughout all of my teaching, I've tried to use that as much as possible. I've tried to really incorporate natural learning. So even though it's not really about IELTS, it's not possible to naturally learn IELTS stuff. I feel like that's how I've been successful, Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
У меня вопрос к публике. Поднимите руки те, кто хочет получить 7+ за IELTS. 7+. So you see, there are many of them.
One second, I did include 7+. I said 9 is not for most people.
Okay. 7. Why you think your methodology is the best one to make your students get 7?
In order to get 7, the band descriptor for 7 is someone who is able to speak English. It's a good user of English. That's the name. A good user of English. In order to be, in my opinion, a good user of English, you need to understand English not at a functional level. For a lot of people, English is a function. You go to the supermarket, you say, hello, can I buy the food, please? $5. That's it. And that's it. They don't know anything more than the functional English. That's like 6 and below. When you're at band 7, your English has to be about life. You have to use it for your life. You have to use it for things that you enjoy. You have to use it for other people, not just functions. So that's why my methodology is the best, in my opinion, or at least the best for my students, because I see that they are learning the things they will use in the real world rather than in the IELTS test.
Okay, yes. All right. Jahongir aka?
Так, manimcha birinchi bo'lib boladan so'rab olganim yaxshiroq. Bu savol, endi savol hozir teacherlik haqida-da, ustoz qanaqa bo'lishi kerak примерно-da. Savol bor bolalarga bitta so'z bilan, bitta, одним словом, опишите, какое качество должно быть у хорошего учителя. А пока по одному качеству достаточно. Yani bitta xislat, yani ustozda bo'lish shart bo'lgan xislatlarni fikrlash bo'yicha, da. Kimdir talabchan deydi, yeah, okay. What else? Creative, positive. Hope you know what? Interactive. Okay, that's. Еще. Терпение. Еще. Проницательность. Now my Russian is here. I don't know what it means. What is проницательность? Insightfulness. Oh, okay. Yep. Еще. Yana. Sabrli bo'lish kerak, talabchan, yana qanaqa? Ha? Eshitmayapman. Funny. Xo'p. Yaqinda Alex bilan biz dars o'tayotgan, dars emasmi, bitta post qilgandim, Alex u postga javob berganda, Alex juda ham bir meni bu nima deylar, teachingga qarashni juda ham o'zgartirib qo'ygandi. Yaxshi ustoz, like a good teacher, is someone who is one first. You gotta be inspirational. So basically, somebody said about energy, positivity, yeah. Yani shu narsa bizga inspirationaldan kelib chiqadi-da. Bolaga inspiration berasiz, xohish berasiz, yaxshi kayfiyat berasiz, yeah. People look at you and you know they take that energy, okay? Bittasi bir. Ikkinchisi, meni fikrim bo'yicha bu ham Alexdan kelib chiqqan fikr. You definitely need to be entertaining. Anyway, entertaining. Chunki darslarni faqatgina bir nima deylar, lug'at tekshirish, reading, listening, writing, that's it. But agar it's like extremely boring. You're going to burn out in about like few months, if not weeks. Biz Buxoroda shuni o'qirdik. Buxoroda hamma shuni o'qirdi-da. That's the good thing. In Uzbekistan, in Tashkent, unfortunately, you just usually the only one who studies the hardest, the most. Buxoroda biz o'qigan paytimiz everybody studies like crazy. Everybody. What? Inspirational, entertaining, uchinchisi bu albatta eng muhimi, hammasidan eng muhimi bu educational. So basically you need to know your job, you need to know how to teach. What ana shu uchtasini Murodjon men iloji boricha imенно o'zimni teachingimga kirgizishga harakat qilaman. Darsni maksimal darajada useful, lekin orada albatta nimadir qiziqarli bo'lish kerak. Yeah, because otherwise you just lose your focus. Prosta fokus ketib qoladi. Albatta iloji boricha har bitta student bilan agar imkoniyatim bo'lsa, vaqtim bo'lsa, alohida ishlashga harakat qilaman. Misol uchun yakshanba kuni o'zim mock o'tkazib berib, yakshanba kuni qanaqadir alohida event, like for example this one, but I have online students and I have online classes. So that's what I do. Albatta prosta shu private messages orqali Murodjon da progress bo'lyaptimi? Progress bo'lmayaptimi? Yo'q, why? What can we do? Da. O'shanga qarab, ya'ni bolalar bilan aloqa tuzib, da, mana shu private connection orqali men muammolarni hal qilib, keyin nima qilishga harakat qilaman? Yordam berishga harakat qilaman. So I would say that would definitely make me a suitable teacher for somebody who, for example, is struggling 100%. Yeah, ana shu narsa men nima qilishim mumkin? Mana can probably set me apart from other teachers. Yeah, that's the fact that I have this one-on-one connection. I try at least, not always. I try. What? Mani fikrim, ana shu narsa meni ajratib turishi mumkin. So, Nur Muhammad aka?
Bir narsa maylimi? Nur Muhammad akani hozir paytda stop qildim. Bitta narsani aytmoqchiman. O'zlari ertalab menga aytdilar, по секрету aytdilar, lekin men bu narsani я не могу оставить несказанной, потому что действительно очень классное достижение. Недавно ученик мистера Нур Мухаммада получил 9. Это человек, которому он преподавал много лет. Deyarli Nur Muhammad akani shogirdi 9 olibdilar. Shuning uchun, мне кажется, это стоит для того, чтобы вы сейчас отдельно ему похлопали.
Rahmat. Endi 100% meni shogirdim 9 oldi deb claim qila olmayman, lekin nima desam, o'sha intermediatedan kelgan menga 5-6 yillab birga ishlaganmiz. Birinchi o'quvchi sifatida. O'quvchi bilan shogird farqi bor deb hisoblayman-da men. O'quvchi birinchi kelganda endi sizni darsingizda o'tiradigan odamda, shogird yaqinroq bo'ladi, ko'proq bo'ladi siz bilan, sizdan boshqa narsalarni ham o'rganadi. Ishlaganmiz. To'g'ri, oxirgi paytlar o'zim mustaqil ishlab, o'quv markazi ochib, o'z o'qituvchilik qilib mustaqil ishlagan bola, lekin ustoz deb tan oladi. Olgan payti ham nima qilib, telefon qilib, xursand bo'lib, rahmat aytib nima qildi. Kanalda ham yozdi ustozim nima qilgan deb. Shunaqa bo'ldi endi. Endi asosiy savolga qaytaman. Ikkita ustozimiz ham javoblari menga juda ham yoqdi. O'zimni qiynagan ikkita savol bo'lardi, o'zimcha javob berishga harakat qilganman. Birinchisi, eng zo'r IELTS ball nechi? Ikkinchisi, eng zo'r o'qituvchi kim o'zi? O'qituvchi ko'p-da, o'zi 9 olgan o'qituvchi ham ko'p. Eng zo'ri kim degan savol bo'ldi. Qiziq-a? Bunaqa savolni berish noto'g'ri, o'zi bilamiz, lekin baribir qiziqda bu savolning javobi. To'g'rimi? Birinchisi, eng zo'r IELTS qaysi? Men uchun eng zo'r IELTS 7.5. Nimadan kelib chiqdim buni? Top schoollarni kirib ko'rasiz, veb-saytiga requirementini ko'rasiz. Misol uchun Harvard, Yale, Stanford. Adashmasam, har bitta section bo'yicha 7.5 dan kam bo'lmasin deydi. Men o'ylayman, agar o'sha talabni bajarsangiz bo'ldi, misol uchun ularga har bitta section 9 qilib borsangiz ham, okay, it's good deydi. Bundan boshqa nima qilgansiz? Work experiences bormi? Nima qilganmisiz? Volontyorlik qilganmisiz yoki qanaqadir proyektlarda qatnashganmisiz? That's it. Eng zo'r ball 7.5. Agar top schoollarda o'qimoqchi bo'lsangiz. Meni javobim shu. Ikkinchisi, eng zo'r o'qituvchi kim? Hozir 20 ga yaqin 9 o'qituvchimiz bor. 9 olmasa ham, lekin teachingda zo'r bo'lgan o'qituvchi. Ichida eng zo'ri kim? Ichida eng zo'ri sizga mos keladigan. Sizni xarakteringizga, sizni o'rganish usulingizga, mana shu nechta odam o'tirgan bo'lsa, hammasini o'ziga yarasha o'rganish usuli bor. Qanaqadir kategoriyalarga bo'lsak bo'ladi. Hammani o'ziga mos keladigan o'qituvchi bor. Kimgadir talabchan qattiq qo'l o'qituvchi kerak, kimgadir entertainment qiziqtirib zo'r o'tadigan o'qituvchi kerak, kimgadir faqat ingliz tilida o'tadigan o'qituvchi kerak, kimgadir rus tilida tushuntiradigan o'qituvchi kerak, kimgadir o'zbek tilida tushuntiradigan o'qituvchi kerak. Dunyodagi eng zo'r o'qituvchi siz uchun sizga mos keladigan o'qituvchi. Buni endi siz vaqt o'tib bilib olishingiz mumkin. Endi nimaga meni o'quvchilarim 7.5 oladi yoki 9 olishi mumkin qachondir. Endi butun o'qituvchilik experienceimda shu narsani bilganman deya olmayman. Oxirgi olgan insightlarim shuki, birinchisi harakat qilaman. Eng birinchi narsa, bola darsimga kirganda darsdaligingizdan chiqib ketish kerak. Ana shu darsda o'tirganingizdan chiqib ketish kerak. Umuman, o'zim ham gapirayotganimda, dars o'tayotganimda shu narsaga harakat qilaman. Darsda men o'qituvchi emasman, ular o'quvchi emas. Biza o'sha qanaqadir real life case'damiz. Misol uchun shopping o'taydigan bo'lsak, biz magazindamiz, o'sha magazin kirib ketamiz. Sud haqida bo'ladigan bo'lsa, o'sha suddamiz. Hamma borini berib 100% darsga o'zini tashlaydi, darsdaligini unutadi. Attitude. Ya'ni nima desak bo'ladi? Natural attitude. Mana shu hamma haqiqatdan 100% energiya berishga harakat qiladi. Endi albatta initiator va teacher bo'ladi. Men harakat qilaman, o'zim o'qituvchi emas, o'sha yerda haqiqiy vaziyatga kirishga, rolga kirishga. Bu bir. Ikki, pozitiv atmosfera. Umuman, o'zi ko'p eshitganman bu narsani. Bola darsda umuman qo'rqmaslik kerak o'qituvchidan. U men o'ylaydigan fikrim endi. Bu aytganda o'sha tipga mos keladigan bola. Umuman qo'rqmaslik kerak. Natural, friendly environment bo'lish kerak. O'zini erkin his qilish kerak. Ana shu. Uchinchi narsa, men simplified learning yaxshi ko'raman. Ya'ni tilni o'rgatishni ham, o'rganishni ham science sifatida ko'rmayman. Ya'ni ilm fan darajasiga olib chiqishgan to'g'ri, lekin darsxonaga olib kirish kerak emas bu narsa. Darsxonada men nima deb tushuntiraman? Qaranglar deyman, mana Amerikada yoki UKda hamma English speaking countrylarda hamma ingliz tilini biladi. Yeah, everyone knows English in the US, in the UK, in New Zealand. Everyone knows, regardless of their level of intelligence, right? Demak, o'sha yerda yashaydigan hamma o'rgana oldim, men siz ham o'rgana olasiz deyman. Ya'ni oddiylashtirish harakat qilaman. O'zimni qanaqadir kulgili shiyorim bor edi. Ingliz tilini o'rganish Navoiyxonaga borib non olib kelishda oson bo'lishi kerak. Ya'ni ertalab turib ota-onangiz Navoiyxonaga borib non olib ketsa, o'ylanmaysizki, ola olamanmikan? Menga ham nasib qilarmikan? Qanaqa sekretlari bor Navoiyxonaga borib non olib kelishi, seminarlarga qatnashib, borib, mana siz muvaffaqiyatli non olib kelibsiz Navoiyxonadan. Shuni agar yo'llari bo'lsa o'rgatsa. Come on, no. Just get up, get dressed, get the money from your parents. Like if you work, that's good. Use your own money, go and buy the bread, come back. That's it. It should be that simple. Harakat qilaman shu darajaga chiqishga. Shu darajadaman deya olmayman, shu tarafga qarab ketayotgan o'qituvchim. That's it.
Shu yerda bitta yaqinda Telegram kanalida nima o'tkazgandimda, 2 hafta challenge, bitta speakingga chaqirdim speakerlarni, bitta readingga chaqirdim, nimalar, ekspertlarni. har bitta ekspert readingdan dars berib o'tishi kerak edi. Har bitta. Ma iloji boricha anaqa big name, super experienced, teacherlarni katta following bor bo'lgan teacherlarni chaqirishga harakat qildim-da. Tam ninerlar, почти все niner edi. Deyarli hammasi. Ikkita odam, xato qilmasam, ikkitasi bittasi shu Abdurazzoq, bittasi Rojiddin. Ikkita bola 8 olgan. Savol sizlarga bor. Menda taxminan 6 ta, menimcha 6 ta niner kelgan, ikkita 8 olgan, bitta 8,5 olgan odam. Ana shu orada qaysi ball sohibi sizlarning fikrlaringiz bo'yicha eng zo'r dars o'tib berdi? Nima deysizlar? Qarang, ana bitta ikkita ustoz 8, 6 tasi 9, bittasi 8,5. 8lik, ya, da. G'alati emasmi? 8lik ustoz eng zo'r dars o'tib berdi. Eng zo'r nima degani? Qaranglar. Darsga 600 ta odam kirgan bo'lsa, oxirida 700 ta odam o'tirgandi. Da. Bitta ustozni darsni boshida qaranglar, 800 ta odam kirgan, oxirida 200 ta odam qoldi. That must tell you something, da. To'g'risini aytaman, kanalimda aktiv shunaqa o'lib ketdi. Bolalar разочарован. Ayrim ustozlar shunday readingni ochgan, bajarash boshladi without explaining anything. Tasavvur qilinglar, men passage olib keldim. You're not going to learn anything. Eng qizig'i 8 olgan ustozlarimiz, chaqirgan ekspertlarimiz juda zo'r o'tib berdi. Endi 9larni, tam 8,5 olgan, 9 olgan ustozlarni kamsitish nimasi niyati emasman. Hech kimni yomonlash niyatim yo'q. No, absolutely. Prosta bilinglarki, ball ham 100% hamma narsani aniqlab bermaydi. Ya'ni Alex 9 olgan, Jahongir 9 olgan, buni Muhammad 8,5 oldi. Всё, я к ним пойду. Bo'lmasin. No. Deyarli hamma sentrlarda har bitta ustozda trial lesson bor. Ko'ringlar, o'rganinglar, o'zlaringizga qiziqroq, yaxshiroq ustoz tanlashga harakat qilinglar. Bildim, mana shu o'tgan hafta bolalar shunaqa kommentariy yozib tashlagan. Endi bildim Jahongir aka 9 hech narsa hal qilmasligini aytdimki, bildim. Come on. Bu fakt shunday bo'lib qoldi bolalar. O'sha uchun bilinglarki, 8,5-9 the best teacher degani emas. Okay? Shuni bilib qolinglar. Hech kimni kamsitish niyatida aytmayapman bu narsani. O'zim ko'rdim, o'zim guvoh bo'ldim. Hattoki o'sha 9 darajadagi ustozlar ham hali perfect level of teaching ga bo'lmagan. Lekin men o'sha aytgan 8 olgan ustoz bolalarni engage qildi, bolalarni kuldirib bildi, bolaga qanaqadir valuable advice berib bildi. Practical, valuable, actionable advice berildi. Bolalar u darsdan keyin chiqib, nimadir o'rganib, keyinchalik o'sha preparationga ishlatib biladi, xudo xolasa. Shu narsa bilan o'lashmoqchi edim-da. Afsuski shunday bo'lib qoldi. O'sha haftani o'zida ana ninerlar ichidan faqat Alex, meni fikrimcha, eng zo'r dars o'sha hafta. Alex o'tkazdi. Ikkinchi odam meni fikrimcha bu Rojiddin edi. So, Rojiddin 8, Alexga 9. So basically what I'm saying is your IELTS band score doesn't make you a good teacher, unfortunately.
I wanna mention one more thing that I think a lot of people understand, but it needs to be said. Getting a teacher is kind of like getting a therapist or getting a good doctor. Even if the doctor themselves are the best, as Jahangir said, they are not always the right fit for you. What you need to understand is that it's not always about whether the teacher teaches well. Some teachers can be amazing teachers, but the way you understand information can be different. It's not always about the best lesson from the teacher, it's about the best connection between you and the teacher. You need to feel the same emotions as them. You need to understand the same things as them. That's why I think very often people learn from the teachers who come from the same hometown as them. Like in Uzbekistan, Bukharan students learn from Bukharan teachers, and etc., because you understand each other better. So I think that's something I've noticed as well. Yeah.
Okay, I have nothing to add. So that's why let's go to next question. And the question is, you think you got 9 because of your skills or because of you have been taking IELTS so many times?
Luck. In my case, it's luck. 8dan 9ga sakrab qolgandim-ku. I think it's luck. It's a lot of luck. I'm not sure, maybe o'sha 8 olgan paytim balkim omadim kelmaganda 8 emas 8,5 olishim kerak edi. No. Mani holatimda men 8 oldim, bir oydan keyin 9. I think it's luck, just luck. I mean, I was ready. My friends like Alisher, who's been constantly getting an 8.5, уже allaqachon 9 olish kerak edi. Nur Muhammad aka allaqachon 9 olish kerak edi. Nima? Alex. So it was more like matter of luck. After how many? After like 5 years. Yeah, I had been teaching for 5 years before I got a 9. I think I was ready like quite a long time ago, probably like few months before that. Tamam. Shu menimcha mani holatimda luck yordam berdi. Chunki kirgan paytim speaking, wow, reading, wow, listening, wow, writing, wow, like oh, вообще zo'r. Da, speaking kirgan paytim menga birinchi marta 8 qo'ygan nima tushdi-da examiner. Team IDP dan. Shu xursand bo'ldim uni ko'rib. O'sha lekin pram charchagan edilar. Hamma aytadi. Lekin gapirishdan maza qilim, to'g'risi. Supportive edi.
I'm gonna look at the situation from a different perspective, like because I've taken the test 11 times with retake, and I'm gonna talk about the benefit of doing this. Like this before this event, like we were having this speaking mock exam. A lot of my colleagues are reaching me and asking me to have a speaking mock exam, and I thought that the guy is already at band 9, but in his last attempt he got 8, and he's asking for feedback, and I said you're already at band 9 level. Like if we consider that we are sports people, you're in a better shape. You're better fit for 9 than me right now. And the thing is, like the benefit of taking the test back to back, like if you are careful enough and if you are mindful during the test, I'm talking about like specifically speaking. Like if you observe the examiner, you see that sort of what makes them happy. Sometimes I feel I look at their facial expressions and I see that some things work, right? Like if for example, I always start my answers with the direct point, and I can see that examiners like this, right? And after this, you get insight for yourself. Like I'm gonna answer all the questions in this way, and I don't start part 2 answers like now I'm going to describe. I kind of started in a natural way. Like it was 3 years ago, I was sitting in the math class, waiting for the teacher, like, and I also thought that the examiner liked this. And after taking the test again and again, I gained, those insights and this experience, and it helped me to, build my own strategy for the test. And I think it works, especially in the case of IELTS instructors and also candidates who are stuck at band 8.5 or 8. And I think it also helps to take the test again and again. And we've been talking about this element of luck, right? Yes, last time you were not lucky and your examiner was bald, but who guarantees that next time you're not going to get lucky with the questions in writing? And I'm going to touch on this luck thing again, like in the case of writing. When I scored 8.5 with British Council, the question was like this. Like these days, a lot of students are bored with books, and some experts say that we should get rid of books and start teaching with computers, TV, and tablets. Guys, I'm living in this. At Internation, we use Students app, we use, TV, we use computers. Like, you know about this, right? The question was about my life. It was about my job. Like, I live in this. How come I couldn't be able to write about this topic, right? So it works. If you keep taking the test again and again, it works. But I'm not saying taking the test every week. Yeah, maximum every month or every 3 months. It works. If you're really after 9, it works.
So I have a very important question for everybody. I'm going to check if you're listening. How did he just say he does not start speaking part 2? How did he say he does not start speaking part 2? Anyone? Say it.
Like with the what we say, what we tell you about.
Exactly. So he just said, I never start my speaking part 2 with, I'm going to tell you a little bit about. I'm going to tell you something. I always start every single one of my speaking part 2 with that structure. All of them. But also, I also always begin my part 1 or part 3 answers with a direct answer. So I always say exactly what my main idea is at the very beginning. So I think that goes to show just how different techniques can be. Different IELTS test takers, just like sportsmen, use different approaches. And you cannot say that one approach is perfect or one approach is the best. But I want to say something that I think very directly answers the question about... what was the question about? The question was about why people are not getting 9.
No, the question was, is that your skills that gave you opportunity to get 9, or was it that luck? Because of you've been taking this IELTS so many times.
That's exactly the question that I was thinking about. Thank you so much, Murad. I didn't forget. I knew it. So I want to say, for me, and I think actually for a lot of people, maybe they don't even realize it, it is 100% a question of skill. In the new marking criteria, so if you take a look at speaking and writing marking criteria, there is something called, I think it's like specific level. Basically, it's bold text where if you make this kind of mistake, you cannot get a higher level. For example, if you do not have an overview in your writing task 1, you cannot get higher than band 4 for task achievement. It does not matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you use the whole dictionary. It doesn't matter if you write 15,000 words and it's like a book. If you don't have an overview, you will get band 4. Always. That's a rule. So I think for a lot of people, actually for a lot of you, and especially for task 1, there is something that is holding you back. There's at least one mistake that you are making every single test that you don't even know about. For me, the reason why I could not get 9 for a long time, I took the test the first time in 2019, the reason why is because of a little task called writing task 1. And I had no idea how to write writing task 1. I did not know what to do. I didn't understand numbers. You know, 5 plus 5 is 17 and a half. I didn't know anything. I looked at the picture and it made me cry. I was not having a good time. So I would say the best thing you should do is you should analyze where are you consistently making mistakes all the time, the same mistake, and why. If you want to get band 9, if you want to go to the next level, you should not look out at what other people are doing. You should look in at what you are not doing. And then that's what you should work on.
Your speech was so interesting, so I forgot my next question.
Your question was so interesting, I forgot your last question.
Что бы вы сделали, если бы вам пришлось изучать IELTS с нуля, но у вас был уровень intermediate, general English?
I have a very short answer, so I'm going to go first. Watch YouTube videos. Hundreds of hours of YouTube videos. Raise your hand if you know about Minecraft. Raise your hand if you know about Minecraft. No, you just know Minecraft. What is Minecraft? You have heard of Minecraft. Okay, raise your hand if you know about makeup. If you have seen makeup in your life ever. If you know what makeup is. Makeup. You should raise... You have seen makeup. You have seen makeup. Okay, for those two topics, there are millions of hours of English native speaker video released every day. I mean, maybe every month, whatever. I would just watch YouTube for hours nonstop. I would eat watching YouTube. Go to the toilet, watching YouTube. In the shower, watching YouTube. And for your information, that's what I already do.
So that's why it took you 5 times to take IELTS 9? Yeah. Okay.
So basically what Alex said is it's a lot of input. Input. There was a story actually with one, I don't know, was it exchange family, like students? So they came to US. They had a daughter, like 4 or 5 years old. She only knew Japanese. And the guy they were living with was an American. So the American guy was trying to get that girl to speak in English. Words like, hello, how are you, what's up? And, you know, something along those lines. She didn't utter a word, like a single word, for about a year. Not a single word. Not a single word. But he kept talking to her. Every time he saw her, like, during breakfast, during lunch, during supper, he kept talking, just straight up talking in English. That's it. And after about a year, he in the morning like randomly asked her a question like, "How are you doing?" And she answered like after like a good year of just listening, watching, listening, observing. She finally said, "I'm fine," or something like that. And he was surprised. The interesting thing that guy was a scientist. I think in bilingualism, monolingualism, or something like. So basically, linguistic expert, and he himself at that time said that languages, it's not about just speaking, reading, writing. It's firstly about input, yeah, listening and reading. Speaking is output, writing is output. So I'd say I would 100% agree with Alex. As much as our input as possible, and YouTube is very very easy, very simple. You just watch, you just listen, that's it. Okay, you don't even have to read, but it would be great if you also start reading, of course, learning words, having like a notebook, writing down all the new words. Yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome. But I think what makes, for example, our students in Bukhara, I'm not teaching in Bukhara, but my friends who teach in Bukhara, they always have a lot of students with 7.5 and 8. Lots of students, bunch of students. Like every admission, they take 10 students. Out of 10 students, first of all 10 students get 7 plus. 3 or 4 get 7.5. 3 or 4 get 8 plus, which is wow. And the reason, and there is only one reason why they get it. Because in their center, my friends, they all make their students only speak English. They make them speak English, read everything in English, write everything in English, whatever they do is in English language. They just have to talk English. So basically, there's a lot of what? Again, input, okay? They talk to their friend in English. They talk to their teacher, it's English, okay? They talk to their cameraman, English. They talk to the administration, it's English. Everything is in English. So it's a lot of input, just a lot of input. You learn everything by heart, and after some time you start putting out. I haven't had a speaking mock before my 9. I haven't had a speaking mock for about like 2 or 3 years. For 2 or 3 years, I was just learning everything. And the only time I got to speak to somebody was during my speaking test, during my IELTS speaking test. That was interesting because many students think they need to get feedback, have speaking mocks with their teacher, and they should. It's great, but if you don't, it doesn't mean you're not going to get a good score. So a lot of just input, learn, remember. And then after some time, you start using it in practice. Yeah.
All right. The question is like if my level of English were intermediate, and if I were after 9, yes, Rodbeke? Okay. And here I'm gonna offer a slightly different perspective. Like, raise your hands if your first native language is Uzbek. If your first native language is Uzbek. Raise your hands if your first language is Russian. Raise your hands if you think you know Uzbek or Russian at a band 9 level. Are you sure? Okay, thank you. But again, we saw like a couple of 4 or 5 hands thinking that they know the language at a band 9 level, but I'm not really sure. What I'm trying to say is like you get a lot of input in your own language, in your native language on a daily basis, right? What I'm trying to say is like I agree with Mr. Jahangir and Alex on input, on the importance of input. But what I'm trying to say is like it's not only about input. There's something else too here to consider. Like even if we use our native language on a daily basis, we get a lot of input. We watch movies, we read books, we talk to people around us, but we're not sure that we can get 9 in our language. And I've seen the cases when getting a 9 or getting a 9 in writing is not always easy for native speakers too, right? I mean, there has to be something different then, right? Like if I were intermediate, first I would try to make sure that I finish general English. Like I would finish intermediate and upper intermediate and advanced. Like if I had a very good teacher, like if I were really sure about the skills of my teacher, right? I'm offering this perspective because I did CELTA. I'm this CELTA type, you know, and I respect all the science going on in the field of language teaching. And there are a lot of, you know, international renowned linguists are working on this. And CELTA offers all the recent and up-to-date insights in terms of teaching. And I think it would be a great idea for me to finish general English, even advanced. I still regret I hadn't finished advanced, or I hadn't had any advanced courses. Maybe because, like, yes, we had teachers, but we didn't have, you know, students who are willing to have this course because everyone is rushing. Everyone seems to have no time for general English. Like most of the people think that the sooner the better. Like the sooner you start IELTS courses, the better. But no, like if I'm not talking about 7 or 7.5. If you're after 7 or 7.5, fine. Go start IELTS after intermediate. Good. But if you're after 9, it's a good idea to finish general English because there are specific language skills, regardless of the language. I don't care about the language, English, Russian, Uzbek. When it comes to writing and speaking, there are specific skills. For example, how to give examples or how to make paragraphs. It's not about language. It's not about only language. If you look at the assessment criteria, you see that it's not only about language. 50% of the test is about language, and the other 50% is writing skills. When it comes to speaking, like some part is about communication skills and speaking skills. And when I, like, from time to time, I like, you know, looking at advanced course books, like to get new insights, and I see that there are specific, you know, parts which can help you to get prepared for this band 9. And I think I would finish advanced with a very good teacher and then start IELTS. And with this, I'm not going to say that, like, if you don't study advanced level of general English, you're not going to get 9. No. I'm going to say that it would be way easier. Maybe you will be able to score 9 in your first attempt. Believe me, it's possible. Like, we've seen the cases. Like, I've been following, you know, IELTS gurus and legends for a lot of time, and I know one guy, like, who scored 9 in only in a single attempt. His name was Gokul, and he was from one of the, you know, Southeastern Asian countries, but I can't remember the specific country itself. And yeah, that's my answer. I would first finish general English up until the end, and then start IELTS.
The last question before we get to the point where our students will be giving you questions. Why the writing part is the most challenging one?
I think I was participating in one of these writing courses during COVID-19 lockdown, and the teacher gave me like a really good answer. So everybody here, what kind of essays do we write in school, back in school, in Lyceum or school? What kinds of essays do you write? Huh? About summer, yeah? Yeah? How great Bobur is, yeah? How great our president is. And I love our president, okay? Just in case. I think the first and probably the biggest problem is just we don't get to write task 1 and task 2 like essays in school. First problem. 2, I don't know the second one. Right now, just the first thing that pops up is just we don't get to write much in our own Uzbek or maybe Tajik or Russian language, whatever language for your first language is. It's a huge problem because students come to me and Jahongir aka, argumentative essay qanday yoziladi, opinion essay qanday yoziladi, discussion essay qanday yoziladi. They think that every rubric has a different structure. Yeah? And it's difficult to teach, it's difficult to explain, and it's difficult for students to understand. It's a lot of mistakes, it's like a lot of errors, trials and errors. Yeah, was it? Yeah, it's a lot of trials and errors. Thank you. Yeah, so for me, it's just in Uzbek we just don't get to write the same type of essays and reports that we do in IELTS. So it's quite difficult to understand what is pie chart. Yeah, what is table. Yeah, it's difficult. Honestly, for me it was difficult. So it took me a lot of time, a lot of like mistakes before I learned to write on quite a good level.
Alex? Yeah, exactly. Because currently I'm taking statistics class, and every lesson we're going through all these tables, charts, pie charts, and it's really terrifying me to analyze them and give the brief description at the end. But that's the thing that I used to do before. But now taking the statistics class, it's terrible, and I know how it feels.
After the class, your writing task 1 will be band 9, I promise.
Yeah,
Immediately.
yeah, exactly. Because I have improved, and I see this development in my skills of writing task 1.
This is actually something for everybody. So I would say I'm gonna fulfill Jahangir's 2 big reasons. So do you remember what was his first big reason? What did he say was the first big reason, guys? That people cannot write? Yeah. You do not write in your own native language. The second reason is when you enter IELTS and you realize, oh wait, I need to start writing these kinds of essays. The information and the techniques and the skills that you learn, at least 50% of it is going to be misinformation. This means the wrong kind of information. A lot of IELTS writing tips specifically, not listening, not reading, not speaking, but specifically for writing, a lot of them are completely wrong and they will result in you getting terrible essays and terrible scores. For example, do you guys know any synonyms for the word show in writing task 1? Just say them out loud. Just say them. Writing task 1, show. The graph shows. Yeah, let me hear them. Let me hear them. So one of them is illustrates, demonstrates, compares, highlights. Do you guys know there's this beautiful synonym? It starts with the letter E. Elucidates. Have you guys heard of this word? Elucidates. No? Good, good. So in 99% of cases, apart from the word show and the word compare, I do not recommend to use any other word. It's not a good idea. I don't recommend you to say illustrates. I don't recommend you to say, there was another one, not illustrates. Highlights, demonstrates, yeah. All of these, delineates, delineates. All of these words are not accurate synonyms. But when you go online and you Google, how do I write Band 9 essay techniques today, right now, you will get the worst possible techniques. They are random, they are not correct, and they are based on incorrect ideas. Here's another one. So
those tips on how to get Band 9 from Google, they they have this swipe, okay? Okay, boss, may I have 1 chicken shawarma for today? Like, they do have this swipe.
It's the chicken shawarma tips. Exactly. Here's another one. So in speaking, you have to use idiomatic language. Give me one example of idiomatic language. What is some idiomatic language that you guys know? Do you guys know? Idioms. Idioma. One example. One idiom. Think of one idiom. Yes. Perfect. It's raining cats and dogs. Beautiful. That's my favorite idiom. My favorite one. It's raining cats and dogs. What are some other ones? Out of the blue. What? Once in a blue moon. Perfect. Everything that's blue is going to be great. Another one? It's not my cup of tea. It's not what? Costs an arm and a leg. So these are idioms. On the IELTS speaking test, you are not required to use idioms. You are required to use idiomatic language. These two things are completely different. Idioms are idiomatic, but you are not required to know all of the idioms. Do you guys know any like proverbs or like old phrases in your own native language? Do you know any? Can you guys help me out? Some old, like in Uzbek, like for example, when somebody drops a fork and you say, oh, you dropped a fork, that's for good luck, or something like that. Can you give me some examples?
I know one. If the examiner is not bold, it's your lucky day.
In your own language, in Uzbek, what are some Uzbek idioms? Yes. You can say it however you want, Uzbek or English, whatever. Uzbek. Written by boldly, is worked by Is that an idiom in English or in Uzbek? Great. Okay. So, I don't know if you know this one, right? Maybe you don't speak Russian, that doesn't matter. But the idea is, in your own native language, you also have idioms. Imagine how ridiculous it would be if the test was assessing your ability to remember these like strange phrases, completely random phrases. These kinds of phrases are not emblematic of understanding the language. Idiomatic language is completely different. Let me give you an example. As in, for example, as in. So as in is idiomatic because it is not direct language. So this is the second example, right? The tips you find online, in a lot of situations, they're not correct. Make sure to find a teacher who knows what he's talking about, who understands the marking criteria. This is number 2. Number 1, you guys don't know how to write these kinds of essays. And number 2, especially for writing, a lot of the tips you see online, they are not correct. That's it.
Yeah, why writing is difficult, why lots of candidates are stuck at 6 or 6.5. Again, I'll go back to my point. Writing is not only about writing. You have to remember that you are taking IELTS, academic IELTS test, and they have, you know, specific expectations and criteria. And you can learn about them when you analyze band descriptors with your teacher, because I had this privilege of attending a 2-day seminar by Anna Hasper back in 2019. And we had this 5-hour training for writing and 5-hour training for speaking. And I remember she said that like band descriptors are written in a student unfriendly language. It means no matter how many times you read band descriptors, or no, like even if you memorize band descriptors, it might be really hard to understand what really what they really mean, and to, you know, put them into practice. So you need a very good teacher, as Alex says, like who really understands band descriptors and can simplify them and can show them how to use in your essays in task 1 and task 2. And I think it really helps. And plus, we shouldn't forget about language aspect too, especially about grammar. I can't say that I can get 7 if I write essays in Uzbek, because I make lots of spelling mistakes and especially punctuation mistakes, right? There are lots of, you know, small details you have to consider while you're writing. Yeah. And I kind of think like even like if we are this careless about our own language when we are writing on a daily basis, when we are writing messages, or when we are doing the writing assignments, like assignments for university in our language, it might be really difficult to do it better in our second or foreign language. So it takes, you know, specific approach and time to reach this high level in writing, and consideration of very small details like punctuation, like, you know, all the grammar rules. And I think it takes a lot of time. It usually, like, I see this in the case of candidates who scored very high in writing. They have a lot of experience.
There is one. About that band descriptors, it's not even in like student unfriendly language. It's not even in teacher friendly language. Even I cannot sometimes understand. Like the difference between band 8 and 9 is that one says uses a full range of vocabulary, the other one uses a range of vocabulary flexibly. How am I supposed to understand it? And plus, also many students, they don't know. Again, I don't know where it's coming from. For example, if you talk about grammar, many students always ask me, qo'ng'iroq, is like запятые, virgule, yeah, like are commas important? It's like if you read band descriptors for writing, yeah, it says punctuation is important. So punctuation is what? Is your commas, yeah, full stops, columns, what are they called? Semicolons, yeah. Just know that punctuation, for example, is also important. There are many factors, just many factors. And many of those we don't even study in our own language, unfortunately. Yeah. Because students, some of my Russian and Uzbek speaking students still don't know what's punctuatsiya is. Yeah. So again, not trying to make fun of those, no, but just saying that that's the reason why it might be difficult. Yeah.
What do you think? Why do many people learn American accent in Uzbekistan? You know, you have American accents. You speak in American accents, and why not British accents?
Because American is the best. Full stop. Full stop. British English is not clear. Bottle of water. I want to drink some water. Not clear.
Stop kidding, mate. Stop kidding it.
I have a reason that I always use to explain this to my students. They say, you're teaching us American accent. Like, did you ask us? Maybe we want to learn British accent. Why are you teaching us American accent? I say, in Uzbek and Russian, we say r, yes? R. You use it. In British accent, there are sometimes when you say r, there are sometimes when you don't. In American, in all the cases, you say r. Why complicate your lives? Just learn American English and forget about when to say re and when you shouldn't say it, right? That's my, one piece of explanation.
I want to mention one last thing. You guys know there's like a road, right? And then on the side, you are walking, right? In British, that's called pavement. In American, it's called sidewalk. Sidewalk. You walk on the side. So it's called a sidewalk. You see that rug? There's a rug on the floor. In American English, that's called a floor rug. That's it. I love American English. That's it. America. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super easy, yeah.
So basically my question is about writing. So nowadays I see a lot of people just whenever they write, they just constantly learn ideas and write with them. Task 2, for example. However, in the past, before taking IELTS, my teacher used to said that it's the best way to write writing 2 perfectly is to broaden your horizon. It's to generate your own ideas and have your own ideas. Yes. And can you confirm the statement? Is it true or not?
It's a good question. I often hear that in many different channels because, as I said, I often organize different challenges. I try to organize challenges, have guest speakers on my channel, and have them teach something. Yeah, and that way I learn. And many say it's just kitab o'qishingiz kerak, you read newspapers, books. Yeah, but the question is, how much time do you have before you take your exam? Do you have 3 years? Yeah. In 3 years, it's possible to read 10, 15 books, learn something, really broaden your horizons, to have all bunch of experiences in life, and then put it on on a paper. Yeah. But whoever said that it's good to memorize and learn, it's completely fine. It's completely fine, but you need to have a good teacher who will check your essays and make sure that you are not writing down just a memorized answer. Because many students do that, especially in introductions. That in this essay I will explain both sides of this argument, and at the end try to reach a balanced opinion. Students don't know that it's wrong. Many students don't know it's wrong. They say, yeah, but then you explain, they understand. I would say you definitely need to have a tutor, a teacher that can explain. Stop, Alex. You shouldn't be really writing this, okay? Stop. Yeah. So you got it. Yeah. So I would say that. So memorizing is fine, but not 100% word for word, okay? And try to memorize and learn from really, really good sample model answers, okay?
Music and film are an important part of a country's culture. Therefore, the government should financially support the music and film industries. I want you to think right now of a real-life example. And let me tell you, you know of one real-life example. Think about it right now. Think about it. I'm going to give you a second. You can close your eyes if you want to. Think about it. Real-life example of a country financially supporting music and film industries. Raise your hand if you have an example, a good example. Yes. India. That's a really good one. For film, that's a great one. Any other ones? Yes.
Kazakhstan.
Really?
Yes.
How
They
do you
have
know?
a huge development in their filmmaking industry, and the country is financially supporting all those young producers to film really good plots. And I do love new series.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
they
That's
are-
really cool.
they are
Kazakhstan
really good.
technology. I did not know that. That's great. Here's one example that I created using ChatGPT, and it's incredibly applicable for all of us. Have you guys ever heard of this really small band? They're called BTS. Have you ever heard of them? Did you know that the South Korean government subsidizes and finances the music and film industry in Korea, which is why K-pop and dorama are so popular all over the world. In every single country, men and women all know about this because of the government. So this is one topic that is literally exactly correct for the question. And I created this, as I said, using ChatGPT. So here's a tip, right? Jahangir said, we don't have time to read books for 3 years. And I totally agree with that. If you are going to take IELTS after like 3 months, you cannot read 10 books. Here's my tip for you. You can use ChatGPT to quickly create simple and clear ideas for every topic, both negative ideas and positive ideas. ChatGPT can, in 1 or 2 words, very simply explain what is the idea, and you can immediately use it in your speaking because it is the real world topic. A lot of people have trouble with ideas because a lot of us just don't have that kind of experience. If I did not Google the question, I would not know that South Korea pays money for those film and music industries. So my answer to you is ChatGPT. ChatGPT. Boop. That's it. It's a technology.
Yeah, ideas in writing. Yes. Well, I think the thing is you should learn to respect your own ideas, because if you analyze band descriptors, there's only one thing about ideas, right? It's in the task response, task 2. Yes, it says your ideas should be relevant. That's it. Yeah. The only thing you should make sure about ideas is to make sure that they're relevant. They're on the topic. Like, you have to make sure that you're not talking about something else. And I don't think it's a good idea to, assess opinions. Like, IELTS writing is going to see how well you can put your own thoughts on the paper or on the computer if you're taking CD IELTS, right? In a way that suits academic expectations, or college expectations. In the future, we're going to do a lot of assignments in college, right? Yes, it helps to work with ChatGPT. It's a great way. I cannot, disagree with this, because ChatGPT helped a lot. Like, I got my 8.5 in writing with ChatGPT. It really helped. But what if the question is totally new, and you had no time, or you had no opportunity to get ideas from ChatGPT on that topic? Like, it's completely new. And you don't have this mindset, like you don't respect your own ideas. Like, this is problem among all the students. They say, I don't have ideas. I think we have to change this mindset. It's not you don't have ideas, it's you don't respect your ideas. You see, the first moment you look at the question, some ideas come. Say, please use me, and you say, come on, go, right? I don't respect you. You're just nothing. You're not band 9. And in most cases, I give my students band 9 essays. They read and they say, these ideas are very simple. These are my ideas. I know these, right? Raise your hands, like if you analyze 10 band 9 essays, I would say in 7 or 6 of them, you see your own ideas, and you see that, wow, it's easy. Maybe we should learn to respect our own ideas and make sure that they're relevant. That's it. I have my own mentor, my own teacher. Every time I send my essays to him, he says, your essays don't look like band 8 or band 8.5. He says, they're very simple compared to, some other IELTS instructors on Telegram or on Instagram. And I think it's not only about how great your ideas are, or how smart your ideas, or how unique they are. I think it's better if you keep this personal touch. It's better to show that you are really writing your own mind. Right? You're really putting your own thoughts on paper using English, using proper English, and using the methods that IELTS expects and clearly states in the band descriptors, right? So learn to respect your own ideas. I confirm this. I think your question was this.
Okay, we've got one anonymous question, which is really good. And student asks, what we should focus on if we are stuck at band 7?
Honestly, it's really difficult to usually answer this sort of questions. Like, what if I'm stuck at band 8 in reading, band 9 in listening? Unless I know what your really level of language is. If I talk to you and specifically say, okay, Nur Muhammad, I see that you have a lot of mistakes in prepositions. You don't know how to use articles. Let's work on them. So there is book Murphy, article, passive voice. Go over these topics. You're gonna be fine after some time. But just saying what to do if you're stuck at band 7, I don't know, honestly. I don't have an answer.
It's a general question, so I have a general answer. If you are stuck at band 7, you should go to 7.5. That's it. If you're homeless, just buy a house. That's it. No problem. Okay, real talk, real talk. I think I kind of have an answer. I don't have the perfect answer for this. Band 7, as we talked about before, is a good user. I don't see somebody at Band 7 as stuck at Band 7. If you're Band 7, usually that means you've achieved your goal. Because for most people, in order to get into university, in order to get a job abroad, in a lot of situations, Band 7 is like the minimum, right? I would say just calm down. Just relax. It's fine. Like, you don't have to get 7.5 or 8 or 9. You don't need that in your life if that's not your goal, right? And even if it is your goal, why? Why would you like that? In any case, right, there are a lot of people, they're driven, they want to do it. A lot of you are probably like this. You know, you watched Jeff Bezos, the bald man, you watched him get rich and you said, I want to be rich as well. And the first step is band 7.5. So here's my tip. Here's my tip. Get a score breakdown. If you took the test within, I think, like the last 2 years, IDP or BC, regardless, you can find online a special information form. You fill it out, and then they will send you your specific scores. Not just like, you know, overall 7, 6, 6, 8, 8, but they will tell you the specific score for each section. So for example, in listening, you got 39 correct answers. In reading, you got 15 correct answers, right? The specific numbers. And then also they will tell you for speaking, right? You had fluency and coherence, you know, let's say 8, grammar, grammatical range and accuracy, etc., etc., etc. So you can find this online. It's free. If any of you feel like you are stuck at band 7, right? Right now, because it takes 1 month, right now, find that information and do it. Okay, open your phones. If you have taken the test, do it. It's free. It's amazing. This is how I got a higher score. Have you ever gotten a score breakdown? Yes or no? Have you ever gotten a score breakdown? Yes. Anyone who has taken the test more than, let's say, 5 times, 5 or more, you took the test 5 times, right? Exactly, you don't count. I took the test 5 times, I'm an exception. Anyone who has taken the test 5 times or more has 100% gotten a score breakdown. You must do it, it's free. That's it, biggest tip.
For me, there are 2 types of students, like who are stuck at band 7. For me, your score in IELTS is about your language skills and test skills. Like how well you know English and how well you understand the test. Type A, let's say type A. Type A knows English, let's say at C1 plus level, like we don't have C1 plus, but again, somewhere in between C1 and C2, and has a very good potential to score 7.5 or 8 or 8.5, even 9, right? And this type of student scores 7 because of lack of understanding of the test, because of lack of understanding how the test works. And in this case, if you are in this case, like if you have very good language skills, but you're stuck at band 7 because of not understanding the test, it would be better to continue to stay in the IELTS class or attend extra IELTS classes or find a mentor and focus on IELTS. And we have type B also. Type B is almost an expert in IELTS, like someone who has been attending IELTS courses for the last 2 or 3 years and has been taking the test over and over again, but still stuck at band 7. But someone who lacks language skills, like if you're in this type, stop attending IELTS courses. Forget about IELTS for some time. As Alex said, relax and think about your general English. Consider attending upper intermediate courses or advanced courses that are available online. I'm not really sure about offline and advanced courses. And do something about your general English and then come back to IELTS and try taking it again, right? That's my answer.